What's up, nail geeks? Long time no see. I am getting back on track. I know I've been promising. It's been bananas the last few months between being sick. We moved, as you can see. I have an office now. Very exciting. We have been through so much these last few weeks. My husband had emergency gallbladder surgery, so I was completely solo with the kids and stuff. Hence why I just did not have time to face record or anything, and I was getting my voice back. It's been bananas. I'm very excited to get back on the saddle, I guess, for lack of better words. I am recording this right after my interview with Brittany of BCB Lacquers on PPUTV. I am having this video launching tonight for her launch, and then I'm going to have the PPUTV interview drop either late tonight or tomorrow, depending on how long it takes me to edit this video. I am super pumped to have her on as the interview for this month. I'm extra hyped for it. I will have the link for PPUTV, my sister channel, in the description box. It's always there in my usual little blurbs, but you can get over there and subscribe to that channel. I really appreciate it if you do. I have lots of interviews with makers, and I plan on continuing the series hopefully for as long as I can keep it up. Something to check out there. In the meantime, BCB is essentially kicking off our Black Friday sales with her new drop tonight. She is doing it a little early, which is great. We have an early bird time, and we also have a regular sale, depending on what time you want to shop it, things like that. I'll have all that information for the sales side of it in the recap of the video. In the meantime, we are introducing the Lord of the Rings Part 2 collection. We have a Practical Magic duo that is dropping alongside this. And I also have swatches of the October and November Smut of the Month duos to show you all too. So lots of pretties. The Lord of the Rings Part 2 duo is heavily magnetic. We have 5 magnetics and 5 flaky bombs to check out. So those of you, either if you are a flaky or a magnetic person, this collection is definitely for you. They're fantastic, and they're so well done. So without further ado, let's dive in and check out these swatches. And at the recap of the video, we'll go over the sale information. Starting off with the Lord of the Rings Part 2 collection is Keep It Secret, Keep It Safe. This is described as a red jelly with pink to gold shifting shimmer and a blue to purple magnetic pull. This is so damn magical, pun intended, to kick off this video. It is one of my top picks out of this release. I do have a couple, and I'm going to try to keep it as minimal as possible for those of you that rely on that information. I chose to do 2 coats. This has that juicy type of buildup to it. It's almost jelly-like because it's not necessarily heavy per se, and it just feels kind of metallic a little bit, given how packed full of magnetic particles are going throughout this. No issues with the magnetic pull time or anything like that. It was very user-friendly and easy to use. And it does dry down quite flat, which is pretty indicative to how much metallic feel, I should say, is in the formula. Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks. This is a bright plum Crelly with pink to orange to gold glass flakes and blue to purple flakes. So while we have quite a bit of magnetics for this drop, we also have quite a bit of flaky bombs too. So this is going to kind of balance it out overall. I chose to do 2 coats across the board for the flaky bombs because they are just so packed full of those large chunky flakes. So go in normal and just spread it like jelly on some fresh toast, and you're good to go. I would strongly suggest a thin layer of glitter smoother to help out some of the texture. Shadow and Flame is a smoky navy Crelly with a subtle black to red shifting shimmer and red-orange bronze magnetic pull. Very similar to Keep It Secret. Easy to build up to opacity. I stopped at 2 coats here as well. It is a vampier type of color palette. However, it's still very noticeable in person. All of the magnetics for this release are, and I really appreciate that. There's no shyness here, and they're really in your face. And I like that there's a strong contrast between their respective bases and that magnetic pigment itself. So same thing here. I know I'm repeating myself. 2 coats. It dries down really flat, like a metallic type of finish, and a glossy top coat. This one is really pretty. Again, I just So fell in love with these magnetics. This is definitely a brand you want to try if you're wanting to get into magnetic polish. Potatoes. I think I said that correctly. My husband corrected me a couple months ago whenever I was like, I thought I said potatoes correctly on the LBOH video, but I did not. And he reminded me of the meme. And I apologize because I haven't seen Lord of the Rings since it was released in theaters all those years ago. So I'm trying to catch back up on my lore and not be so out of the loop. But anyways, you boil them, you mash them, you stick them in a stew. This one is very similar to Do Not Take Me for Some Conjurer of Cheap Tricks. It's also a big flaky bomb. I just chose to stop at 2 coats, thin coated glitter smoother and glossy top coat. Not All Who Wonder Are Lost is a green jelly with blue to purple shifting shimmer and a pink gold bronze magnetic pull. This is my top favorite out of the entire release. This is beautiful, and the contrast between the base color itself and that magnetic pigment is just chef's kiss. Formula is excellent too. 2 coats for buildup was all I needed. Blah, blah, blah. Same thing. I know I'm repeating myself, but this contrast is gorgeous. That magnetic pigment is so very multichrome. It's what I would classify as like a true multichrome. It's kind of earthy in the color palette that it flips through, but beautiful. Now, the backdrop has that gorgeous blue type of shimmer going throughout it as well. That just amps up all the colors that are going throughout this. Again, very, very pretty. My number 1 pick out of this set. All right, then, Keep Your Secrets is a Tucson teal crelly with green to purple to pink glass flakes, red, orange, gold glass flakes, and black flakes. So very similar to the others. This one, I felt like the flakes had a bit more of a mixture for the sizes, if that makes sense, versus the other 2 we saw, straight chunky goodness with the big thick flakes. I feel like this one had like a mixture. So we've got the smaller types, medium, and then we do have those nice big ones floating throughout it as well. This one is also quite textured in how it dries down. It's thirsty and it wants that top coat. So make sure you go in thin on your 2 coats to just slowly build it up and go in with a glitter smoother and glossy top coat. You Have No Power Here is a royal blue jelly with blue to purple shifting shimmer and gold to bronze magnetic pull. Another stunning magnetic. This one, this first coat here, I think really demonstrates how delicious the formula is. Very easy to build up. And again, 2 coats. It's just identical across the board with all of the magnetics. And I felt like this one was also user-friendly. I had no problems with any of the magnetic pigments needing to have extra time or anything like that. And they're not so fine particle that they were slipping a whole lot. But I will still forever say, when trial and error for magnetic polishes, please make sure you are magnetizing your glossy top coat layer too. I didn't have that slipping with the top coat. I will just say that with these, but I think it's still worth it to note. They're taking the Hobbits to Isengard is a dirty mustard acrylic with gold glass flakes and green to blue glass flakes. This one hit opacity pretty quick. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw it in the bottle. I was like, oh, typically these mustards usually want to do 3 coats, but not the case. These are just those types of flakes that trust the process. If you do a 3rd normal coat, you're going to have over buildup. It's going to be too much polish on the nail. So just trust what you're doing and do 2 coats, glitter smoother and glossy top coat. And that is even the case for the lighter colors like this one. You Bow to No One is a gray crelly with blue to purple shifting shimmer and a green magnetic pull. If Not All Who Wonder Are Lost was my number 1, this one would have to be my number 2, if not standing on the same pedestal as my number 1. This is beautiful. When I saw this one in the bottle, I was thinking it was going to be one of those almost crelly types of bases, kind of, I guess, and have a bit of a watered down look with the magnetic pigment. But I was damn wrong on this one. As I magnetized it, I was like, okay, I stand corrected. I'm very wrong. This is not how I expected it to look from the bottle. This is beautiful, and that contrast is glorious. This one has more of a creamy type of feel than, say, the metallics that I've been seeing so far. But same thing, 2 coats and a good glossy top coat. Even Darkness Must Pass is a gray crelly with green, blue, purple glass flakes, blue to purple glass flakes, and black flakes. So this one is another crelly. This one feels more like a true crelly than say the other flaky bombs we've seen, which in my opinion, those are more true jellies. This one has a bit of a more solid lean to it, if that makes sense. Now, I feel like on the second coat here, I went in a touch too heavy. So just don't make that mistake as me. This one is very quick and a heavier type of formula, like I said. So I think 2 light coats is the best for this. Glitter smoother and glossy top coat. Otherwise, you risk having too much bulk on the nail. There's No Devil in the Craft is going to kick off our Practical Magic duo. This one is a black jelly base with purple to blue multichrome pull and gold shifting shimmer. So this one also kind of goes along with the Lord of the Rings Part 2 magnetics, where it's easy to use, it's glowy, great contrast, nothing hiding or shy here. So I chose to do 3 coats on this one. And that's because when I took my hands away from my lighting area where I'm swatching, I noticed on my falsies, the unmagnetized, the black portion in between the magnetic pull here from the ring, I felt like I could kind of see through it with my falsies, and I don't know, it just felt like a confound there. So I chose to go up to 3 coats with it. I think on natural nails where you're having you have an actual background for color, I should say, I think 2 coats are probably just fine. So if you're rocking falsies like myself or the Gel X, anything like that that's clear, then maybe I could see you 2 probably wanting to go up to 3 thin coats. Otherwise, I think 2 normal coats would be just fine. And same type of easy to use formula as the other ones. The other part of the duo is, since when is being a silly person a crime in this family? This one is a burnt orange jelly with red, orange, green multichrome shimmer, green, blue, pink iridescent flakes, and black flakes. This is excellent opacity here. I was pleasantly surprised once again to stop at 2 coats. The first coat, I kind of felt like, okay, this is where I'm going to go in for 3. Not the case at all. Easy buildup going on here. This one might need a glitter smoothing top coat if your top coat of choice is on the thinner side, because it does dry down pretty just thirsty, not textured per se, but thirsty for top coat. And kicking off the Smut of the Month duos, this one is going to be for October. This is Insatiable, which is a deep oxblood Crelly. To me, this one leans a touch more on the berry side versus, I guess, whenever I think of oxblood, I think in more darker lighting situations or like normal indoor lighting situations, you'll see a black type of appearance. And this definitely flirts with that. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's just a tiny bit more berry, if that makes sense. It has a Crelly type of formula to it. I think 2 or 3 coats works best. I chose to stop at 2 coats because I knew I was going to have to put the topper, which is the companion polish, with it. So Lust is the other part of the duo, and it's a topper packed with red, orange, gold, green glass flakes and red, orange, gold multichrome flakes. I think this duo is so perfect for this time of year. I know I've been chatting with Brittany a ton about how we're decorating our houses now, as we're both house owners now, and it's super exciting. Like, we are just going nuts on this specific color palette here. So very much, I don't know, Thanksgiving, fall type of vibe for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, the Smut of the Month duo for November, this first one is Tease. It's a deep chocolate Crelly. I agree with that. This is a very, very Crelly type of formula. It kind of flirts with being this jello jelly type of vibe in the formula. So for that reason, and because I knew I was going to have to use the topper, I chose to do 2 coats, and I went in a touch heavy-handed. Now, with that said, it is very forgiving if you choose to polish like this and you want to stop at 2 coats, but also build it up to that very self-leveling, creamy look. Dry time was great. So if you wanted to go in ham like I did, absolutely go for it. Tempt is the other part. This one is a topper packed with green, blue, purple shifting shimmer. I went in normal for myself with this one. No need to do any icing method or anything like that. It is packed full of that beautiful shimmer. And again, I loaded up my brush to go very ham, as I knew it was a clear base topper. And you can see it complements the chocolate base very, very well. And it's very obvious in person too. This is a fine particle type of shimmer, in my opinion, that I like to go heavier handed. So either 2 thin coats or 1 normal coat, I think is going to be the best. And we're going to wrap this up with the Will It Toppers segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. So for the most part, in terms of the Practical Magic duo and the Lord of the Rings Part 2 set, We pretty much have crellies, like flaky crellies, and we have magnetic polishes that kind of balances out this two-sided coin going on here. The magnetics, I don't recommend over dark colors because it kind of drowns out the contrast we were seeing when built up alone. Conversely, the flaky bombs, those jellies, and then we had the one like super curly one. I could see maybe if you wanted to do like a super match cream underneath it, but they build up so well on their own. I can't really see a need to topper those either. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend toppering any of these. I would just have to be a bit of a naysayer. While some of them do look cool, I just think you're taking away a lot of the vibrancy we were seeing when you wear them as intended. So do with what you will with that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I personally like very opaque polishes. My favorite types of polishes in general are the heavy, not necessarily heavy. I shouldn't say that. More of like a opaque. I want bold, damn it. Like that's what I want on my nails. I don't recommend toppering any of these. So the sale is going to start tonight, November 8th. At 7 p.m. Eastern. And there's going to be a bit of a tiered way to do this. So if you shop from now through November 10th, there's 20% off the site on everything. So the new collections, cuticle oil pens, previous launches, things like that, 20% off. So get in there. If you shop between November 11th through November 15th, it is 10% off site-wide. So it definitely benefits you to get in there early for this initial window. And then starting November 16th, everything goes back to normal pricing. There is going to be a full cuticle oil restock. These are the big behemoth. I have one around here somewhere. These are the big behemoth pens that I do have one right here in my nail desk. It's so nice having an office now that I have everything right here. I'm not far away from my computer, but these are the big pens, 6 milliliters that Brittany said she has 70 cents. That is bananas. So lots to choose from. She said there's some previous collab scents and stuff there too. I have so many of these in my nail desk. I told you I stash my favorite stuff all over the place. Those are going to be there. She did say she is restocking the Lord of the Rings Part 1 collection, so you can grab that too. And she also has a charity polish that is going to be dropping on this launch that is going to be benefiting No Kid Hungry, which is amazing. And she said $2 of each bottle sold is going to go towards that. And then a portion of her Black Friday sale is going to go towards No Kid Hungry, which is freaking amazing. For all the reasons. So that's amazing there. There is free shipping over $100 domestic US if you are wanting to do that. And if you go back in the shop and you purchase more than once, shipping is going to be combined when she starts the shipping process, and any excess shipping will be refunded, which is really cool too, because I would imagine that's a lot of work for makers to do. Nice big sale going on here. I will link you all below to BCB Lacquers website if you want to head on over there. By the time I get this video up, the launch should have started. I'm getting back in the gear of things, and we are kicking off the season, and it's going to be a nice busy month. So stay tuned. I have so much more to show you all. Go check it out. I will also link you to the Facebook group if you want to get in there and join that too. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.